I want a pet monkey. Wood. Wood is such a blessing for humanity.
What the f*** is David Lynch doing? He's just sitting on the corner of La Brea in Hollywood with a f***ing cow.
I went out with a cow and a placard for Laura Dern. And it was, you know, a necessity because I didn't have the money to buy ads in the trades. And it brought awareness. If you want to see the greatest performance of 2006, check out Laura Dern's performance in Inland Empire. Here in LA, beautiful blue skies. Here in LA, beautiful blue skies. Golden sunshine, muted sunshine. It's 65 degrees Fahrenheit, 54 degrees Fahrenheit, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, good. Get her undressed and we'll do this thing. Naomi came in and did not look exactly like the photograph that I had fallen in love with.
It was disappointing.
It was not disappointing.
A little bit.
It was devastating. Here's the thing with that, champ. That's short for champion. Yes.
There seems to be a growing trend in Hollywood now where there's a lot of prominent product placement. How do you, as a filmmaker, feel about this growing trend?
Bullshit. We're freezing our ass off up here. Who gives a fucking shit how long a scene is? What a heavy load Einstein must have had. Fucking morons everywhere. What's that buzzing?
It's the lights.
Fuck. Drive you nuts. Fucking A, man. It drives me nuts. I love to eat cheese. We're cooking quinoa. Moths were flipping and flying and like frogs. Frog moths were pulling themselves out of the earth and flying up in front of the stand. Dust was blowing. It was like a and there you have it. A fantastic bowl of quinoa.
Would you like some pie?
Massive quantities and a glass of water, sweetheart. My socks are on fire. She's my mother's sister's girl. I had another Monica Bellucci dream. You remind me today of a small Mexican chihuahua. Action, Kale.
Kale. And he calls me Kale. That's another story.
Okay.
Because during Dune, Dino De Laurentiis, who produced that, couldn't say Kyle, and he called it Gale. Hey, Gale. And he had spoke like that.
Sure.
David picked that up. He becomes fond of it, so now he calls me Kale. He says, Kale.
Kale, you come to right about here. And you come in, Tidbit.
My nickname is Tidbit since I was 16.
Okay, love you, Tidbit. I love you, sweetie. I love you.
I just remember he said, "Cut, Tidbit. You'll have them bolting for the fire exits." I was like, oh my God. Seemingly crushed, but he was so happy. I guess I did it the way he wanted me to.
I'd spent 10 years of auditioning in Los Angeles where lucky if you get to meet the director, you might not get a bit of eye contact or a handshake or anything. Nonetheless, David looked at me and he actually asked me questions. So there was a conversation. He sat me still and said, "I'm interested in you." And therefore I was able to I sure love you. I sure love you, Naomi. Naomi knocked this thing out of the park. She is such a fantastic actress. Laura Dern is one of the all-time great actresses. She could play anything.
I got a call that he wanted to meet me at Bob's Big Boy to see if Kyle MacLachlan and I could get along or something.
I used to go to Bob's Big Boy restaurant, and I went there for 7 years, every day at 2:30. not Chinese dentist time. It was a Chinese dentist time, but I went there because I like to have a chocolate milkshake.
We ordered malts and French fries.
And there was a silver goblet shake. It wasn't really ice cream. It was a thing they put into a thing called a Taylor machine, and it would get cold, and they'd pull the lever, and it would come out in kind of a tube of ice cream and fill this goblet. And I liked this chocolate milkshake. I had these things for 7 years with a cup of coffee, and I would write on the napkins.
David was doodling on napkins while Kyle was doodling with a knife into his ketchup. And I mean, a girl either goes, these are really bizarre men and they're twin souls, or I'm in love with both these people and want to spend the rest of my lives with them, which is how I responded.
And I would write on the napkins. It was like having a desk, and you need paper. There's a piece of paper, and you write on it when you get ideas.
Ideas are so beautiful, and they're so abstract, and they do exist someplace. I don't know if there's a name for it, and I think they exist like fish, and I believe that if you sit quietly like you're fishing, you will catch ideas. The real, beautiful big ones swim kind of deep down there, so you have to be very quiet and, wait for them to come along.
If you catch an idea, any idea, it wasn't there, and then it's there. It might just be a small fragment of, like I say, a feature film or a song or a lyric or whatever, but you've got to write that idea down right away. And as you're writing, sometimes it's amazing how much comes out, from that one flash. So you get an idea, and it is like a seed. And in your mind, the idea is seen and felt. And it explodes like it's got electricity and light connected to it, and it has all the images and the feeling, and it's like in an instant the idea. In an instant. Then the thing is translating that to some medium. It could be a film idea or a painting idea or a furniture idea. It doesn't matter. It wants to be something. It's a seed for something. So the whole thing is translating that idea to a medium. And in the case of film, it takes a long time, and you always need to go back and stay true to that idea.
The film is the thing. You work so hard, after the ideas come, to get this thing built, all the elements to feel correct, the whole to feel correct, in this beautiful language called cinema.
Have a great day, everyone.